third graders. This is another normal day here in Carlisle Elementary, zooming around the solar system, as you can see. Whoa, look out, here comes Saturn, yikes. Hey, that reminds me, today we're going to start a brand new project. We are going to be doing a research project on a planet like this one in the solar system. And what we're going to do is we're going to search online to try and find information about our solar system planet, and then you're going to turn that information into a slideshow. And I'm going to tell you how to use Google Slides, and we'll get that all set up. You're going to insert your information, you're going to insert your graphics, you're going to design it, make it all look really cool and neat so that you can show the information that you find about your planet. Here's the planet Earth right here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on our planet research slideshow. The solar system is a pretty amazing place, full of 8 different planets, and those are the planets that we're going to research today. But before we get into thinking about planets, let's get some baseline information, baseline facts established so that we have a better understanding of what we're actually learning about. I put 2 videos in the Google Classroom that I'd like you to watch. They're kind of fun. They give us an introduction to the planets and whatnot. But also, in addition to those 2 videos, I want to just talk about just how big our solar system actually is. So what you're looking at here is a picture of Iowa, and the arrow that you see is Carlisle. Now, Carlisle is 1 mile wide. So from one end, the east end to the west end, it's about 1 mile. Not very big. If you put 300 Carlisles together, you would be able to go across the state from left to right or from west to east, because it's 300 miles wide, the state of Iowa is. Now, North America is this continent. It includes the United States and Canada and Mexico and Central America, like all of this. This is one of the 7 continents of the world. And the continent of North America, well, that is 2,500 miles wide. That's pretty big. But if we zoom out even further, and Carlisle still sits right there, we'd be able to see the Earth. And if you went from Carlisle through the middle of the Earth and out the other end, like right through the middle of the Earth, well, that would be 7,950. That's almost 800 miles. That's pretty big. But if we zoom out even further and get to our solar system, then we're going to see, even though the Earth is pretty big, it's actually quite small. Now, this does not show the planets and how far away they are from each other. But what it does show is how big they are compared to each other. And we just had to kind of squish them together that way so you can see them all in one shot. Look how big the sun is. The sun is huge. It doesn't even fit on the screen. Mercury is this little dot right there. It's not very big. It's smaller than Earth is. But even though Earth is bigger than these planets here, it's way smaller than these planets out here. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And so if we took a look at the solar system and said, well, how big is it? We'd actually find that the solar system is, holy moly, 100,000 million, billion, 5 trillion miles wide. That's a lot. But if we zoomed out even further, then we'd get to what's called our galaxy. This is the Milky Way galaxy. And the Milky Way galaxy is full of solar systems like our own. Each one of these dots of light is supposed to represent like a star like our sun. The Milky Way galaxy is, I don't even know this number, 1, 2, 3, 100,000 million, billion, trillion, quintillion miles wide from one end to the other. And it contains over 400,000 million, billion, 400 billion stars like our sun. Wow. Now, sometimes, since we're getting so big, we start to talk about distance in what's called a light year. A light year is how long it takes light to travel in one, or how far light travels in 1 year. So in 1 year, light can go a really long way. It would take 105,700 years, light years, to travel all the way across. That's insane. And that's still not the biggest thing that we know of, because even bigger than our galaxy is the universe. Now, this is an actual picture of the universe taken from a special telescope called the Hubble telescope. And each one of these dots now represents a galaxy like we just saw with the Milky Way. So this galaxy here, there's probably from one end of the universe to the other, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't even know what this number is. It's way too big. 100,000 million billion, 100,000 million billion trillion, septillion maybe? That's a lot. That's huge. That's an insane amount of miles that our universe is. It probably has, I don't even know that. Oh, it's getting ridiculous at this point. This many stars like our sun, and that's only a guess. We don't even know. It could be more. It could be that times 3 or that times 5 or even less than that. That's our best guess right now. These numbers are huge. They're insanely big. And so when we think about us sitting here on Earth, even though we might think that, we're pretty big, we're actually very, very tiny. Okay, so now what we're going to do, though, is I'm going to give you a chance to actually explore around the solar system. So we're going to head to my website, mrcarver.net, and in my website, you're going to click on the 3 for 3rd grade, and then you're going to click on this icon here. This one is going to open up a tool called the Solar Scope. You're going to start the model, and then you're going to have to let it load a bit because it's loading all those millions and billions and trillions and quintillions of miles into our system. So give it some time. It will eventually load up. But when it does, it's going to give us our solar system, and it's going to give us a chance to actually explore different planets. Your job today is to pick one planet. I gave you a sheet of paper in your take-home stuff, and on that sheet, with your take-home stuff, there is a notes sheet, and at the top it has you list a planet. Now, you don't have to do any research today on the planet. You don't have to find the facts. What you just have to do is pick one planet to choose from. So here's what you're going to do. You click the model and it'll load up like so. And then when you do, you're going to have your solar system. And here in your solar system, I actually can click and drag to kind of move it around like this. I can zoom in and zoom out. All of my planets are there, and these little rings that show up will also kind of show you like the orbit that these planets take. Now I'm going to go over here to the gear real fast, and in the gear you can turn things on and off. I'm going to turn off what are called constellations. I'm going to scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. It's constellation lines, this one here. I'm going to hide them because that way it kind of cleans up what I'm looking at. The constellations are little like drawings that are done on these stars. I'm going to pick a planet that I think might be interesting. Maybe I'll pick Jupiter here. When I click on Jupiter, I can double click it. It'll fly me there. And from here, I can zoom in and zoom out. I can kind of see what Jupiter looks like. I'll spin it around. I see the moons that go around Jupiter. I can also kind of take a look at these buttons here. I can see what the structure of Jupiter is like. It opens up and you can see like, ooh, this is what it's made of. Or we think it's made of. We're not quite sure. Then I can go back to my solar system. I click solar system here and it zooms back out. And then I've got a bunch of cool stuff here. There are inner planets and there are outer planets. By the time I actually get all the way out here to Neptune, which is the furthest planet, it's really hard to even see the sun and the inner planets anymore. You can actually continue to zoom out if you want to. One of the things I see in orange are other things. These are actually dwarf planets. You might know Pluto already. Pluto was a planet, now it's not. So unfortunately, you cannot choose Pluto today to study. But did you know that there's other planets like Pluto out there, dwarf planets? Aries, Cumae, Make. These are all dwarf planets. Actually, there's one even closer to Earth. This one, Ceres, right here. It sits close to Earth. It's also a dwarf planet. And I can zoom in there if I want to and take a look at it. Let's see. Ceres is about the size of the moon, actually. So it's not big enough to be a planet, but it does kind of look like a planet, and it's circling the sun just like a planet does. I think that Ceres is kind of cool. But you can zoom out, you can zoom out, you can actually all the way zoom out to the Milky Way if you want to. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. And here's the Milky Way, and you can click and drag and kind of see where the Milky Way is and look at this information. Here's what I'm going to have you do. Go ahead and explore this tool as much as you want. Visit all the planets. You can come over here to that button and you can actually like see near stars or explore planets, jump straight to them that way. You can even, if I'm going to go out to the solar system, kind of mess with the dates down here. So the dates down here, you can actually hit play and it'll put them into motion like this. You kind of see how the orbits work. The inner planets spin a lot faster than the outer planets do. You can go to your actual time. You can go to your birthday if you wanted to. That's kind of new. Explore this. But your job is to pick a planet and to write it on that sheet. These are the planets that you can choose from. You can choose from Mercury, Venus, not Earth, because you already live on Earth, and so I want you to pick a different one than Earth. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, or Neptune. No, not Pluto. It's not a planet. No, not the sun. The sun is a star. No, not the moon. The moon is a moon. So these are your options. Find one, pick one. You don't have to do the research yet. That's next week's work. But then spend as much time as you'd like to on this very cool solar system website. Okay, the next time I see you, we'll do our actual research. So I hope you have learned a few things and enjoy this slideshow. I will see you next time we're together.